Another night of basketball Champions League action ahead. Two teams who know each other very well indeed. One helping to knock out one of the others when they met in this competition 12 months ago. It's PAOK against Ventspils, and there's a decent crowd in, looking forward to another night of exciting European basketball, and these two teams couldn't really be more closely matched. This the agenda for this evening. Look out for the teams at the top of the table meeting there. Ludwigsburg, the top of Group B, against the bottom side of Orlando. But these two sides very much with aspirations to get into the knockout stages. And as you see, it's the Latvian team who are best achieving it right now. 3 from 3 for Ventspils, but PAOK just one win in 5, and that's only at Orlando on the road. But as you can see, so much of the other groups have taken shape this way. Group B very much in that vein, very tight, with 4 points separating the entirety of Group 11. Group B, I should say. So let's take a look at the two teams who go at it tonight. This is the first time that PAOK and Ventspils have met since PAOK put Ventspils out at the group stage last season. And here is the Latvian team. Look out for Gulbis. Noted power forward Brucevic normally gets ahead of him, but plenty of experience in the point guard position, even though he has such a tender age of 24, with Jakovic wearing the 7 jersey. Billa at point guard too. Shortened lineup though. I noticed 12 Ventspils players on the court before the game started. We'll see just how many take shape, and there is one of the PAOK players looking to repeat what the Greeks did last season, Brandon Trish. He part of a full lineup named by Ilias Papatheodorou. Lucky Jones, such a talent in the small forward position. Margaritas, the captain, the evergreen Margaritas, continuing at 35 years young. And look out for Gabric, but also Chrysopoulos, who played such a key role in beating Ventspils when they met last year. So much to look forward to here tonight, and we hope to see a terrific contest. And let's be fair, PAOK need to get something from this game tonight. They've got Ludwigsburg, the group leaders, here in a week's time, and then they face the trip to Gaziantep. And as for Ventspils, well, they're on the road again next week at Tenerife. The team who put them out of the, put PAOK out of the last 16 stage, and then they're at home to Neptunus of Lithuania as well. So there's plenty of action to be played over these next 2 or 3 weeks before we break for Christmas, and a first chance for many of these teams to play in basketball Champions League action since the break for the senior internationals. So we'll see the visitors introduced. And here they come. Grimberg's the slightly inexperienced point guard leading them out. Out for Blake Hamilton as well. Such an experience, such a talent to shooting guard position. Bit of height there too. You could guess the Lithuanian, 6'9" of him, and there's the coach Robbie Stelma's got a terrific record in the Latvian league. 10-0 they are currently, top of the table, as you might expect. Here come PAOK, to the acclaim of their fans. Klassen, Ventspils we've already mentioned, at 6'9" himself. Lucky Jones applauding. Look out for him to make an impact during the course of this game. As to Phil Goss, if he gets the chance, he last on the list, or second last. Had some issues with his knee in recent weeks. Let's see how much action he gets. But before we get underway, there will be the usual festivities and traditions. Robbie Stelma's there, trying to bring his team's Latvian league form into this. Not doing so badly in the Basketball Champions League, it has to be said as well. Went through the other games a little earlier, as we see the three officials in charge of tonight's game. Three of the games taking place in Group B. Gaziantep against Chalon began around about half an hour ago. Tenerife against Neptunus, and Orlando against Ludwigsburg later on. But this is the starting five for Ventspils. Pretty much as you would expect, with Ubilla winning the votes at point guard, ahead of Jakovic. Robert Stelma's very calm there on the sideline. I wonder what's going on inside that now. And here, the PAOK starting five: Kaliaris, Klassen, Margaritis in the front court with Zaras and Katsivelis behind them. This man, a very, very talented coach indeed. Don't take too much from their record in this competition so far, but he's had a good 2017 as Mr. Papatheodorou coached Greece's under-20s team to gold in the FIBA Europe Championship this summer. That was after only getting them promoted back into Division 8 the previous year. So he knows what to do to turn things around. Latest in that other Group B game that started earlier, by the way, Chalon with a 4-point lead in there midway through the second quarter there. But let's see what happens here. Last instructions for the Latvian team. And all set to go for the yellow and blue. And we might be able to get a word from Mr. Papatheodorou. For Skelett, the small forward on the Ventspils side. So good to see so many home players being produced. With Latvian basketball in such good strength. Had a useful Euro basket, of course. And we all know what Mr. Porzingis can produce. But here's a moment's silence for the FIBA referee, Gianluca Mattioli, a respected international referee who sadly passed away a few weeks ago, responsible mainly for FIBA 3-on-3 refereeing he officiated in Italy, as well as in the most prestigious of European basketball competitions. He highly contributed to the Basketball Champions League, of course, as well.
He officiated in Italy, his native country, as well as in the most prestigious European basketball competitions. Gianluca Mattioli highly contributed to the Basketball Champions League, officiating a big part of it from the very beginning. As a sign of his sorrow and solidarity to his family, we kindly ask you to start and respect this minute of silence. Thank you. Ενός λεπτού σιγή στη μνήμη του Ιταλού διαιτητή Gianluca Mattioli που έφυγε πρόσφατα από τη ζωή. Thank you. Σας ευχαριστούμε.
Gianluca Mattioli, who will be remembered fondly by the whole basketball family. Right, all set to get underway then. It's going to be Klassen going up for PAOK against Sakis. And eventually, it's the Latvians who get the first possession. Gulbis. Biller will set things in motion. Back to Gulbis. Not an awful lot of happiness on the face of Margaritis, who's been called with the foul. Yeah, just a nudge of the hand. And Gulbis will go to the line. Not the greatest start in the world. And finally, we have our first point of the game at the third time of asking. Koniaris for PAOK. Here's Margaritis. Ventspils back inside, and Margaritis is already lighting things up. Wonderful vision from the home team. Skella has to check. Gulbis single on the ball early on. That was all a little bit messy. Bruzovic finds Sakis. And we'll have another go, shall we? Gulbis once again in possession, but this time a foul in the lane, I suspect. Koniaris called. Bruzovic off the rim. And away comes Ventspils. Margaritis expecting to do an awful lot of this throughout the game, and he draws the foul early on. He just can't stay out of the game right now. Can Maris Gorbis, captain, drawing the foul from the captain. These two sides met in a pivotal last group stage game. And then they ended up finishing level on points, but it was a 30-point win for PAOK, who overcame Ventspils, qualified out of their group. Each had a 7-7 record. This is the first time these two teams have met since then, so plenty on it in terms of pride, if nothing else. Gorbis. Ubilla looking for a bit of help, doesn't really get it, has to go on his own, but still Ventspils' ball. With just a few seconds left on the shot clock. Chance for Gorbis, can he get the shot away? No, he can't. Skeller actually takes one in the shoulder. And Koniaris, well, he will take the foul. Early couple of fouls there, that's not going to please the coach. Ubilla. Not exactly the smoothest of starts for either team here, but it's PAOK who have the owning advantage. Back inside, and Klassen finishes. Gorbis, Geller. Brucevic looking to shake off the attention, and he can't finish. Did all the hard work there, did the American. That's nice and easy. Nice and easy. Koniaris looking smooth as silk, and it produces an early timeout from the Latvians. Well, you can see why the coach plays plenty of trust in Koniaris. He was a real talent in that under-20s championship when I was telling you about. Really produced the goods. But there you see, Latvians just unable to convert right now, in complete contrast to the host. Let's hear what the coach has to say. Not exactly the most organised defence from Ventspils, giving Koniaris all the time in the world. Looks a bit taller than his 6'3", doesn't he? So PAOK, the much easier and quicker to settle so far after nearly 3 minutes. Skeller, Ubilla. Doesn't have an awful lot of options ahead of him. Here's Brucevic, drives to the basket and finishes. That brings him off the bench. Looks like Ventspils have finally woken up. Margaritis. Brucevic in close attention, gets a bit of space. Can Klassen finish? Well, he's fouled in the end by Brucevic. Did well to take Coniaris out of the equation. Very nearly drew the foul as well. Still a healthy advantage for the Greeks. Ubilla. Iskela. Back to Ubilla for three. Just can't find it, but that's a good slap back from Zakis. Needs to get something going here. Ventspils. Brucevic might be that man. Oh, you better believe it. Just the two, though. And there's the response. It's starting to light up in Thessalonica. More motion from Ventspils. This time it's Zaris for two. And we're back to a 6-point game in the opening quarter. More work from beyond the arc from the home team. Not quite working out to that effect. Ubilla does well to get the ball back. Brucevic will try, that's no good. Good rebound though, good energy from Gulbis. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And they'll try and drive it up through Zakis, draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Well, here's the comfortable two from Brucevic. And then one straight afterwards from Zakis. So the game's starting to take some shape as we see changes being made. Goss coming on, so too Chrysopoulos for Port. Out come Klassen. And so too Coniaris. Zakis will get the rebound. Not the easiest rebound he'll ever get. Scanner. Gulbis has to get it back to Brucevic, but that's a poor pass. And Chrysopoulos will pick up the steal. Foul called on Skeller this time. He doesn't look especially thrilled by it, but was always going to get caught. Only the third foul, though, on Ventspils. Port with just one foul to give as Zakis sits down for a few moments, as does Gulbis. Off the rim this time for the home team. Skeller off the glass, but slapped down in the end by the teammate, Ukichis. And he knows he could have done a little bit better there, perhaps. Gets it to Goss. Goss looking for a bit of help, gets it back to Klassen. Oh, that's such good movement. And it deserved better from Chrysopoulos. And away come Ventspils, looking to close this gap further. Jakovic All the way out to the corner. Here's Skella off the rim once again, but there's a nudge in the back there from PAOK-Ventspils. He's certainly been involved in the game, but not necessarily for the best of reasons for his coach. There it is, just a little nudge, and there was an extra one you may just have missed. So 5 fouls, and it's Ventspils who go to the line. Plenty of fouls already called. Coniaris on 2 for Paul. 9 all told. Only 1 from 2 for the line. From Yakichis. Goss here for Paul. Goes for 3. Oh, there's dynamism, there's endeavour. There's determination to finish off. 5-point lead now. Skella gets a nice screen. And Jakovic's drive is thwarted in the end by Zaras. And there'll be 2 more fouls. And another foul, I beg your pardon. And 2 attempts from the line. Another one picked up by Zaras, which means he's on 2 now. And Lucky Jones steps out into the middle. Ventspils not exactly hammering home these free throws, but there's both from Jakovic's. Not averaging even 50% at the moment from the line. They've got to do better there. 50% exactly, in fact, after those 2. Oh, that's nice vision, and well finished off. Chrysiopolis with the dunk, doing to Ventspils what he did 12 months ago. Off balance there. Jakovic's not exactly the wisest shot to take. And they're already under a bit of pressure here, the Latvians. What of a move at Katsiavelis? Can he finish off? Oh, you bet he can. Already making his mark. 5 assists to go with those 2 points as well. And it's Ventspils who have the problem right now. Skella could have gone for the basket himself, but here is Yakichis, and he draws the foul as well as the 2 points. And Klassen didn't really know what to do there. Call for a charge, perhaps? That's certainly what Klassen is arguing, but such a tough job for these officials in any context, let alone an important game in the Basketball Champions League. As we see Kubeli come on. There's Yakichis. Draws that deficit down for the Latvians to 4 points. Jones. Chrysiopolis. Goss. Oh, wonderful feint from Goss. Deserved the 3. Jakovic's. Ventspils just waiting for the opportunity to get within range. Skella thought about the 3. Lomas all on his own in this right-hand corner. If somebody can find him, Jakovic goes alone. And it's PAOK who come away with it. Jones. Chrysiopolis. Katsiavelis will get another go. Can't shake up Jakovic. Jones quickly inside to Chrysiopolis. And again, PAOK not able to convert their possession. Even though they lead, on a bit of a dip at the moment. Haven't scored for nearly 2 minutes. Skeller drives to the basket. Yakutis with the rebound and the finish. They need a bit more of that sizable presence, don't they? You've seen Latvian highways built narrower than Yakutis, alone in Lithuania. Inside, ball for Krubeli. Does well to finish, doesn't he? Last possession of the quarter. Kovics, Skeller will have to get his skates on. Needs some help. Jukovic gets it up just about in time, but it won't count. So it's PAOK who have the advantage. 100% inside the arc, and they lead by 4 on that inside presence. And Ventspils' woes from beyond the arc, proving the differences between these two teams. They are 6 from 6 for PAOK from 2-point range. Ventspils not a single shot made from 3-point range. Let's see some of the key action. Margaritis getting involved early on. Brucevic brought Ventspils to life after what was a pretty poor opening. And then 3-point shooting has certainly helped PAOK get into this lead that they have. Goss, such persistence from the American. Zakis has done his part for Ventspils. Look out for this man in the next 3 quarters. So, Yakutis, the Lithuanian, very much on the money with his presence inside for the Latvians. Apologies, you can't hear the atmosphere for a moment, but happy to say it's been restored. And we're about to get the second quarter underway with Chrysiopoulos, Krubali, Soklis, Goss and Jones on the court for PAOK. Gabric, Jukovic, Lomaz, Gulbis and Yakutis for Ventspils. Goss inside, Krubali. He's looked very efficient from that sort of range so far. Soklis watching on as Lomaz gets all sorts of attention. There's all sorts of nudging going on as well between the two big men on the court. Yakutis for Ventspils and Krubali for PAOK. Lomaz. Jukovic tries for 3. It's all very physical, and in the end, the fingers of Krubali win the rebound. Soklis couldn't finish there, but this is quick. Fine response almost from Gabric, but Ventspils will have another go. Lomaz out to the corner for Gulbis. 3-point game. Goss looking to respond. Krubali, oh my word, he's done ever so well. His physical presence and his pure athleticism has done the job there. Foul called though on Soklis. Home crowd don't like it. But here's Goss off the rim, and Koulibaly first there, forces it in off the glass. Second foul called on Soklis, and looks a little bit bemused by all that, doesn't he? Well, that was poor. Gabric giving possession away a little bit easily. In the end, he gets away with it. Ubilla needs some help. Oh, is that given away too easily? Oh, they've got away with that. Soklis very involved in the last couple of moments. Just had the foot out of bounds. Gabric finds Golbis. Surprise, Yakutis hasn't been kept on, but Golbis is called for the offensive foul. Jones stood his ground, but he almost took an elbow to the chin there, and if that's not going to get called as a foul, I don't know what will. Second foul on Golbis then. Goss gets a great screen from Koulibaly, but then the poor pass and chance for the fast break. Inside to Golbis, Koulibaly on hand though to cut off the danger. No drama from the big. Golbis is denied. Oh, great steal from Gabric. All the way out to Ubilla at the left-hand corner. Forces his way through. There's an awful lot of lost possessions in this game. I make it 8 turnovers already. Feels a much more harem-scarum game than that. Soklis finds his way through. Ventspils haven't led since that opening free throw. PAOK have just kept them out consistently since then. Here's Ubilla once again. Tries the alley-oop, but Sakis can't get that. There's a foot out of bounds, well, there is Golbis, but what a block that is from Lucky Jones. Then the steal comes back from Gabric. And even though they get Ubilla free, he has to go inside to finish the job off. Brucevic back in the game. Skella has Golbis all on his own. Ubilla has to do it himself, off the rim. Golbis will make sure. Three points the margin. Chrysiopoulos, oh, not a problem. Ubilla for Ventspils. Here's Golbis. Captain trying to lead from the front. Ubilla finds some space for Skella, but it's off the rim. And they read that all the way, but there is a foul called, much to the bemusements of Soklis. Looked a very, very soft foul to give away. Scala gives the applause, but that's 3 fouls now. You just simply got to be more careful. As we see more changes being made by coach Papatheodorou. Lampoulos is brought in at the expense of Jones. Katsivelis comes in for Soklas, and in the meantime, Scala has the chance from the line. 1 from 2. Katsivelis. Goss. Foul called. And it's Brucevic who looks like the guilty party. Chrysiopoulos. Goss just resets himself. Looks at his options, back to Chrysiopoulos, has to go inside. Lampoulos can't find his range early on. Golbis for 3. How Ventspils needed that. And they're going to need more of that. He hasn't missed yet from 3-point range. Still, PAOK are just not finding any sort of consistency in shooting. Brucevic for 3 more. Gap is tightening up now. Katsivelis takes one in the choppers for his troubles. He'll go to the line in a moment. Here is Golbis profiting from Scala's hard work inside. They are starting to pick up from 3-point range now. Ventspils, as Katsivelis makes the first from the line. 2 from 10 overall from 3-point range, but Golbis has got both of them. 3-point game then as we begin our march towards half-time. Ubilla as Brucevic to his left. Looking for a screen though. And he's proving ever efficient at the moment in that department. Lampoulos has to try and do it all himself, but there's too much room, too little room for manoeuvre. Now, can Ventspils finally get back into the lead? Ubilla. Brucevic trying to do his best to get him a screen. Can he do even more than that? Back inside. Zak is fouled. Katsivelis has the foul called on him at his second. Wonderful move. That was earlier on from Ubilla. Just floated it up ever so gorgeously. And timeout called by PAOK. And they've got to try and change things around at the moment.
Χρησιμοποιούμε free side opposite, αλλά κάνουμε το εξής τώρα. Κάνουμε το εξής. Χρειαζόμαστε το εξής. Θέλουμε ο Λίνος, ο Βασίλης, συγγνώμη, Βασίλη. Εδώ είναι ο 5. Εδώ είναι ο 4. Ο Βασίλης βγαίνει από το screen.
Βασίλης, είσαι αζευρίμεν.
Ο Σάτζελης πασάρει στην μπάλα εδώ. Μάλλον εδώ είναι ο Γκος, συγγνώμη.
Ναι, no tebi fali.
When you pass the ball here, you go the opposite corner. Vangelis,
Box out.
Well, those rebounding numbers show where Ventspils are delivering at the moment. 8 offensive rebounds as opposed to 1 for the home side. 18 to 11 in total. Sakis, though, can put Ventspils back in the lead since the opening couple of minutes of the contest. Oh, was that a very unnecessary foul called on Brucevic. You've got to love the energy and the hunger to get into the game, but was that really a foul worth giving away? Three fouls now. Immediately taken off as well. 2 called on Gulbis. Everybody else okay for now. 3 fouls on Soklas, of course, for PAOK. Kesiveris. Chrysiopoulos. Oh, drives to the basket, but can't find the rim, let alone the basket. Ventspils now with that chance to get in front. Brucevic. Gulbis. Dispossessed momentarily. Was there a travel? That's what the home fans want. Gosso is called for a foul, but the home fans really don't like that. Ball lands in the court. And it's Gulbis who goes to the line. Five fouls called on the home team then. So it's 2 shots every time for Ventspils for the remaining 2 minutes and 19 seconds. They now lead as Gabric comes back. In for Brucevic. That might be the last we've seen of him for the half. Chrysiopoulos again can't find his range, and they're really not happy. Well, the home fans, it's just frustration that their points production has gone AWOL. All the way back out, here's Gabric for 3! Where has this come from Ventspils? Greek fans don't know quite what's hit them. Just 1 point in the last 3 minutes. And yet another call that they're not going to like. But it's got to be the right decision. Gabric all on his own, though. Poor defensive cover. And despite that momentum being checked, Goss makes the first from the line. Ubilla called, incidentally. Great ball inside, but Skella Can't take the pass in Ubilla, but Ubilla does ever so well to turn it over. Such heart from the American, and that's loaded up by Golbis. And they are bossing this second quarter of the Latvians. Minute to play in this first half. Katsiavelis drives, but Gabric and Margaritis collide, and I think Gabric has come off worst in terms of the pain barrier. Katsiavelis insisting on telling the officials what's going on. Margaritis, in fact, who draws the foul on Gabric. Was that experience getting that particular foul? Margaritis, 35 years young, and sunk a few free throws down the years. Still time for them to level things up before we go into the locker rooms. Ubilla then has Goss for company. Is he going to go all himself? Doesn't work for him from mid-range. Katsiavelis, Goss. We'll reset once more. Katsiavelis, Margaritis inside, but that's going to be nowhere near Chrysopoulos, let alone his twin brother standing on his shoulders. Timeout called. And with just 23 seconds left, Ventspils it is who call the timeout. We can check the stats once more. Beginning to take some shape. Ventspils from three-point range, 2 from Golbis, 1 from Gabric. Here's the Greek coach.
And then we have run and jump. Now and run and jump. Okay, here. And then we play switch every screen. Off ball, on ball. We play switch every screen. Off ball, on ball. It's okay. Let's go.
Extraordinary to think that Ventspils lead, but they're only 60% from the line so far, but they are comprehensively winning the battle of the boards, 20-13. That free throw percentage by them, 9 from 15, 8 from 10 for Port, the home team. Right, this will be the last play if Ventspils have anything to do about it. Ubilla. He's going to drive to the basket once more, as he's done very successfully in this second quarter. He has Jones in his face. Looking for a screen from Kujikas. What a finish that is from Ubilla. Last play of the game. And he's given Ventspils a 6-point lead. Now that is leadership. That is taking responsibility. Jones gave him not an awful lot of space, but he's punished him, and it never even touched the rim. Magnificent stuff from the Latvians, who win the second quarter by 10 points. And they lead by 6 going into the change. Ubilla's stats at the end of that half: 7 points, 5 assists. And you match up with Golbis' 13 points and 4 rebounds. It's been a very effective turnaround from Ventspils. But there, I suggest, is where the difference has been made. Those 21 rebounds, 8 offensive. Not an awful lot of difference in terms of assists and steals. But the longer the half has gone on, the more the Latvians have taken control of this game. Here, game leaders, Golbis, heavily involved. But PAOK have got some success inside early on with the likes of Klassen and Krubali. But it's been rather snuffed out in recent days. Christopoulos has done some damage from three-point range, but it's all looked a little bit inconvincing the longer that half has gone on from the Greeks, who really looked very ineffective in that second part of the second quarter. And the irony is that it was only until Brucevic got things going for Ventspils that they really woke up at all. It was very poor first quarter, first 2 or 3 minutes especially. And the three-point game never really worked at all for them until this three from Brucevic. Goss has looked useful from the outside game. Sakis has had his moments inside 2-4. Ventspils. Nikitschus, surprised he hasn't had more game time. He's looked effective at both ends of the court, although not an awful lot that anybody could do about that try from Katsiavalis. Important to remember that when Christopoulos landed a three with 5 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the half, that PAOK were 6 points up. And after that, there was not an awful lot for them to shout about. In fact, one free throw from Katsiavalis, one free throw from Sakis, and eventually 2 more from the line from Goss, and 2 more from Makaritis. Not one field goal in those last 4 or 5 minutes of the half from PAOK. And some frustration there for home team's players, but Coach Stemeyers pretty happy, you would think. And this slow-mo of Golbis landing the three. Well, any lovers of basketball will enjoy watching that, I'm sure. Billa, when he didn't ship the ball quickly, found ways of taking responsibility both inside and outside, and there just a few seconds before the end of the half. Something very special. And you'd imagine that that's been discussed in the PAOK dressing room as we speak. That's the first half done. Join us for the second shortly.
2 στα 5 και άλλα 20 ευρώ, σύνολο 40 ευρώ, Βούλης Chemicals στα 2 παοξάκια. Βούλης Chemicals, η μεγαλύτερη ελληνική παραγωγική επιχείρηση στον τομέα για την περιποίηση και την προστασία του αυτοκινήτου. 40 ευρώ σήμερα, χάρισε στο λαό του ΠΑΟΚ. Πλούσια δώρα από την Αβάζα Δεκάρ, τα ιδιωτικά χνεωτέ, κόντο, πλατεία, παλασχοτέ και τους ιατρούς καταριότητας σε κάθε τόσο ένα παιχνίδι της μεγάλης μας ομάδας. ΠΑΟΚ Store, επισκεφτείτε την μπουτίκ του ΠΑΟΚ στην κεντρική είσοδο VIP. Όλα τα είδη της αγαπημένης ομάδας. ΠΑΟΚ Store, κεντρική είσοδος VIP, η μπουτίκ του ΠΑΟΚ.
Μουστάρες, κίτσα, παραδοσιακές σαλάτες, τύπους και dressings συνθέτουν ένα μοσαϊκό γεύσεων από την Ελλάδα και όλο τον κόσμο για να έχετε κορυφαία γεύση και κορυφαία ποιότητα με ελληνική ταυτότητα. Κοντίτο και έχεις την πάντα στο διάλεξο. Ζήσε την απόλυτη εμπειρία του αθλητισμού με φυσικό μεταλλικό νερό Βίκος. Μια ομάδα με πάθος για διάθεση. Ένα αγαπημένο νερό. Βίκος. Φυσικό μεταλλικό νερό από τα προστατευόμενα ζαγορχώρια. Ένας δυνατός αγώνας. Μια ομάδα με πάθος για διάθεση. Ζήσε την απόλυτη εμπειρία του παιχνιδιού και του αθλητισμού με φυσικό μεταλλικό νερό. Φυσικό μεταλλικό νερό. Βίκος. Απ' την πηγή και απ' την καρδιά. Σίγουρα, εκατό τυχεροί όμως θα κερδίσουν από 20.000 ευρώ στην κλήρωση του χριστουγεννιάτικου λαϊκού λαχείου στις 26 του Δεκάτου. Ρυθμιστής ΕΕ. Συμμετοχή μόνο σε άνω των 18. Κίνδυνος εθισμού και απώλειας περιουσίας. Γραμμή στήριξης 1114. Τέξτε υπεύθυνα. Το Ευρωδία Θαλάσσης σας υποδέχεται στο ιστορικό κέντρο της Θεσσαλονίκης. Ευρωδία Θαλάσσης με άψογη εξυπηρέτηση από τα επαγγελματικά στοιχεία του σπίτι. Από όλες τις υπηρεσίες ενός από τα καλύτερα σπα με πισίνα, γάμα, σολάριο, γυμναστήριο, μασάζ, στοχής, σπανάδες, ξενοδοχείο, φιλεναδίες, Ήπειρος, 1878. Μία οικογένεια, 4 γενιές, 6 χρυσά βραβεία σε διεθνείς εκθέσεις. Πάνω από 1 εκατομμύριο φιάλες ετησίως σε 12 χώρες του κόσμου. Το απόσταγμα Τσιμουλάτσιο. Απόσταγμα 4 γενναιών και συνεχίζουμε. Εκτυπωτές πάλι με το πίτσα.
Μην νοσοείς.
Και ποιος θα σου λέει?
Η Τούνερελας.
Τώρα, δωρεάν, εκτυπωτής, τώρα, χαρτί και σέντες, μόνο με 1 λεπτό ανακοίνωση. Δεν το κατάλαβες. Αφορά 1000 εκτυπωμένες σέντες, μόνο με 10 ευρώ. Τώρα Ελλάς και δεν ασχολείς. Τώρα Ελλάς, Αθήνα Θεσσαλονίκη, τηλεφωνικό κέντρο 2310 46 66 55 και στο www.tonerellas.com. Εδώ τα
Welcome back to the PAOK Sports Arena in Thessalonica, where the home team have work to do if they're to achieve a second victory in the Basketball Champions League. All smiles and selfies in some parts of the arena, but the home fans, now they've got a scrap on their hands here as their side trails, as you can see on the big scoreboard, by the 6 points. 35-41. It's fair to say that the longer that half went, the longer that the PAOK drought in front of the basket continued. They didn't score a field goal in the last 5 minutes and 49 seconds of the game, of the half rather. And they absolutely know, and they would have had it hammered into them at the change around, that has simply got to improve. These Latvian players, though, much to the disappointment of those home fans, they've delivered the goods. The longer the game's gone on, it's been impressive from a rebounding point of view, from a scoring point of view, quite simply, that they've just been able to turn it on, get more consistent and draw on some of the form that's put Ventspils fourth in the table, just a couple of points behind Ludwigsburg, Tenerife and Neptunus, who are all in this pool and all looking to progress. Remember, it's only the top four that make it, so possible that those four teams could be the ones to make it. But certainly there will be teams in the bottom half of the group who will have designs on a playoff place. So let's see what this second half has in store. Chrysigopoulos, Krubali, Margaritis, Katsivelis and Jones starting off, it seems, for Ventspils. Well, let's change that because Kaniaris is there on court. Krubali, Kaniaris, Margaritis, Katsivelis and Jones for PAOK. Ikovic, Jubila, Skelik, Gulbis and Sakis for Ventspils, and it's Jubila who will get things moving here in the second half. Skelik inside Ikovic, floats one up, doesn't drop. And a nice drive to the basket from Katsivelis. Means that it's PAOK who have the opening points of the game. Skellett. Ubilla gets the screen from Sakis. Back to Sakis, can't finish it though. This might be a tighter half than you might have thought at half time, and it will be if more points get made by Koniaris like that. That was something special. Ubilla. Djokovic inside to Sakis, dunks it home, and Ventspils are finally on the board in this third quarter. Koniaris this time. Margaritis battling for it. And draws the foul. Koniaris all the way out to Katsivelis. You suspect the coach's words are still ringing in the ears of the players. Now to Katsivelis, but it's still the Latvians who lead. Well, Gulbis has done his best, not just to finish that off, but also get the decision from the officials. And he's succeeded in neither. Sakis with the rebound. Here's Ubilla. And again, Ventspils can't get the job done. Driven in by Margaritis, and it's surely got to produce a timeout from Ventspils. And indeed it does. PAOK take the lead. He's looking for a call, and he ain't going to get one.
We go, big side. Big side. 4, good screen, 5. Come here and go after Taylor, go corner. If they jump here for 6, direct penetration, 5 follow. Outside. Come on,
Let's see how the Latvians respond, shall we? There's still their ball. Better from Jones. Brucevic, Skeller. Somehow Ventspils don't quite know what's hit them, but it's not a bad counter punch. One point in it then. Here's Jones from the arc. Margaritis. Out to the corner. And somehow Caniaris can't finish his. You build on the fast break, but good defence. Jones making sure he gets in the way. They rather got away with that. He's had a decent start to the half. What a putback that is, by the way. Just his first points of the night, mind you. A foul called on Caniaris, I believe. Yeah, as it says, his third foul. Soklas has also got 3 for PAOK. Skeller looking for the call on Ventspils. Didn't get it. It's almost like man in two swords that for a moment. Brucevic drives for the basket, can't drop for him, but he does get the foul. And Margaritis, it's his turn to look all befuddled. Now have a look at this for a moment. He does leap in, and there's just a moment of complete surprise on Skeller's face when he realises he's got to play on. So the lead changes hands once more. We'll see whether there's a swift response from PAOK. Kubali inside towards Ventspils. But this time it's Ventspils who have the foul called on them. Skeller this time. Margaritis. Ventspils inside via Caniaris, but Kubali can't hold on to it. Here comes Jones. Back to Caniaris. No good. Kubali, or could have got himself, but they're determined to land the 3. And Margaritis is well wide. Fascinating game developing here. Brucevic, Skeller. Had his options inside. Brucevic on the outside though. Here's Jukic. Brucevic for 3. Got it! And suddenly the Latvians are 4 points clear after a very sticky start to the third quarter. Caniaris has Kubali for company. Here's Margaritis trying to land the 3. Strike that one down. Skeller. Brucevic inside to Jukic, who's under pressure from Margaritis. 2 threes in quick succession. Look at the frustration on Margaritis and how he channels it into returning the favour just a few seconds later. Off he comes. Christopoulos replaces him. And he's already starting to get intimate with Brucevic, who doesn't entirely appreciate the situation. Oh, that's poor from Brucevic. Skellen never stood on earth, they're getting near that. Koniaris comes away with it for PAOK. Kubali, oh, that's hard hands. But he still maintained possession. Lucky Jones drives to the basket. Kubali can't slap it home. And another fast break, this time from Ventspils. The putback attempted by Skellen. Great block from Ventspils. The three attempt from Golbis. Who else? Koniaris, wonderful feint, steps inside, drives it home. Marvellous. The score, by the way, is wrong on your screen at the moment. There we are. We're back up to date. 53-48. We'll soon have two added to it for PAOK. Golbis checks his options, steps inside, gets it to Brucevic, who can't make it land, and it'll be PAOK ball. 50-53. The scoreline now. Koniaris. How about that, incidentally, to find the basket? A real talent in the making. So young as well. Ventspils, oh, he almost lost it. Here's Koniaris once more. Opts to go it alone. He made them think that, Ventspils. And the Latvians eventually get possession inside the final 3 minutes of this third quarter. And it's starting to build, as so many games have done in this Basketball Champions League this season. Nikicius has two for company, but they can't deny him. How physical was that from the Lithuanian? And Jakovic has the foul called on him. What about that though? Off balance. And still, for all the pressure that Kubali and Jones put on him, he still couldn't miss. Pretty even game inside there, you'd have to say. As Jones fires it out from outside and lights it up. 2-point game. Jakovic for Ventspils. Remember, they lie fourth. PAOK looking for their first win at home in the Basketball Champions League. Jakovic thinks about the three, tries to get it inside, but Jones will take it out. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Wonderful pass from Goss to find Jones, the no-look pass, and there he was. They've worked on that in practice, have the two Americans. Jakovic to Skellen, like shelling peas. And the lead goes back up to 4. Nudge from Skellen there on Koniaris. That's his third foul. Golbis on 3. Skellen now on 3. Brucevic now on 3. So, thought for the coaching staff to consider on the Ventspils bench. Meanwhile, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Goss. Koniaris. Oh, does it all himself, does he? Oh, how did that not drop? The vagaries of the basketball. Skellen for 3. Kubali with the rebound. Can't take your eyes off this right now. As Goss tries to bring PAOK to within 2 and does so. It's going to be Goss this time who's had the foul called on him. Only his second. And this is what he did just moments ago. Simple, effective. Did what was required. Golbis and Skella make way then. On comes Gabric and Ubilla. They've certainly got options in the backcourt areas. Jukovic, another man to challenge, gets it out to Gabric. Finished off by Jakicius. Jones is down for PAOK, surely clattered by Brucevic, and that's his fourth, and he knows it too. Very, very clever play from Jones. Knew what he was doing as we watched. Jakicius has done home and he produced a raw, and he's going straight for Brucevic. You could argue that could have been called an offensive foul as well. But Brucevic is staying out there and he's got to keep his nose clean. 2-point game. As we see eventually Brucevic step out and Golbis come back. Remember, he's on 3 fouls as well. Koniaris, Soklas and Margaritas on 3-2 for PAOK. Ubilla for Ventspils. Jakicius trying to create the screen for in the head. Time running out though. Here is the Lithuanian. Was he fouled by Katsivelis? And the officials believe so. And that should be the 5th team foul. There it is. So Jakicius will go to the line. Other scores, by the way, in Group B. Sharon have won 73-68 at Gaziantep. 2 more games to come this evening as well. Don't miss a thing on live basketball TV, and don't forget the Basketball Champions League app you can download for your smartphone. Tenerife Neptunus, and also Orlando against Ludwigsburg on Tuesday night in the Basketball Champions League. 4-point game then. Jakicius into double figures with 12. And this the last play of the 3rd quarter. Goss. Zaras. Got to put it up himself, and he makes it. Buzzer beater to finish. They're going to check whether that will count. The officials will consult, and it's no good. So it remains 61-57 in favour of the Latvians. Margaritas with 11 points, but he has 3 fouls to his name. In fact, they're going to have another look, are they? Look at the shot clock. Does Zaras get it up? Oh, it's so close. Well, they got the right decision in the end. So Margaritas 11, 8 to Katsivelis, 7 to Jones for PAOK, but Ventspils 16 points from Golbis and 12 for Jakicius, who's picked up 5 rebounds as well. So much action to enjoy. Koniaris finding Jones, driving to the basket, and the putback, and then a little bit later as well, drove straight for the chest of Brucevic to draw his 4th foul, and you don't know how important that's going to be. Brucevic proving very effective. There's that Scala being blocked out by Katsivalis. And here we go, final 10 minutes. I was talking about Brucevic a moment ago. 9 points, 4 rebounds to his name. And here we go. What is this intriguing game got in store for us? Well, there's a foul already. Little push from Lomas. Plenty of fouls to give. That's his first. Katsivalis. Zaras. Kubali. Back to Katsivalis. Won't drop for him though. Good rebound though from Christopoulos, and he'll lay it up for 2. 2-point game. Christopoulos, he fancies has got to play a leading role for PAOK if they're going to get something from this. Remember, they haven't won at home in the Basketball Champions League this season, but they haven't lost by many in each of their games. As Katsivalis has the foul called on him. That's his third. PAOK, they lost to Gaziantep by 3 points at home. Also lost to Tenerife by 5. So, well, that's an offensive foul called. Zakis doesn't like the decision. And Ventspils turn it over. And it does look as if it's his left hand that has the final touch. All about pressure, and Ventspils are slightly easier to give up possession so far. Katsivalis inside to Kubali, has to get it out to Christopoulos. PAOK lead once more. Javovic looking for options. Crowd now getting into it. Oh, there's certainly contact between Kubali and Zakis in the lane. Kubali had the patience and the vision to spot Christopoulos in the corner. 10 points to his name. And just the one foul as well. Scala back in the game. Zakis to Ubilla. Jakovic, the man out, not unsurprisingly. Here is Scala trying to lead Christopoulos to merry dance, but he goes down a blind alley himself. Katsivalis thought about the shot from distance. He might yet take it all himself. He does! PAOK coming to life, and they get a timeout from Ventspils too. Not a lot that Zakis could do there. You could argue he could have been a little bit more dynamic, but let's see what the coach has to say. Here we go again then. And suddenly, Ventspils have a 3-point gap to make up. Home crowd very, very lively now. Ubilla has Jakutis in the lane, but he opts Brucevic off the rim. Always looked off balance, if anything. Looks ambitious. Now this would really prove problem for Ventspils. It's more than a problem, it's a big problem. Goss has landed from distance, and suddenly PAOK lead by 5. Pressure being applied. Keachus has to make it himself, but he needs the help from Skella. Back to 3. Goss has plenty of company. Christopoulos is all alone though. Ventspils have got away with that, but the foul is called on Jakutis. That's his second. Strength to hold off Krabalian. Okay, it didn't land, but Skella timed his jump to perfection. This was Goss producing the timeout. We're back live, and it's Zaras who went from distance, and he might just have drawn the foul. Yes, he has. And the foul produces at least 1 point. Now Skella on 4. So too Brucevic. That's both for the line from PAOK. So there's plenty of foul trouble now to add to the mix as we enter the last 7 minutes of the game. Jakutis, that's foul on Zaras. Looks to be plenty of elbow going in from the Lithuanian. Here it is. And who says basketball's a non-contact sport? Plenty of aggression and plenty of desire to win this game from both teams. Ubilla over the top. Here's Gulbis. How big a part is he going to play? Skella, another key man for the Latvians. Here is Gulbis being watched closely by Zaras. Opts for 3 himself. And there was a foul in there. And it's called on Zaras. His third. Look at it again. It just does enough to hold off Jakutis. 3 team fouls then for both teams. Ubilla. Skella. Back to Ubilla. There's a travel, is there? The coach is calling for it. Coach of PAOK. And they turn it over. Not what you need from your point guard. Coach Papatheodorou, voluble with his demands on the sideline. Zaras. Foul by Jakutis. I beg your pardon. I would have taken my ankle off if he'd done that to me. But it just slows the momentum down. Maybe a few more of those. Here's Goss. Oh, solid again for the American. He's coming alive in this fourth quarter. Ubilla tries to match him, but it's a loose pass, even though Goss got a hand in. What about this, though? Those moments you just got to admire. 7-point lead as Jakic has to go himself. Somehow he's got it back to Skella. The Latvians going cold. Jubila, back inside, Jakic. Oh, what a blow from Krubali! And still it continues. But the officials say it's a charge. And there might be a smile on their faces, but the sidelines for the Latvians will be going crazy right now. Here's Jakic. Zaras is right in there. Krubali gets a fantastic block. And it's PAOK who come away with it. They want that first home win, don't they? Goss has 3 players for company. Katsiavalis. Is there the space and time? No, not with that block from Jakic. How about that from Chrysakopoulos? Fails to make the basket, but it will still be PAOK ball with 0.2 of a second left on the shot clock. Zaras has to shoot it up. Not an awful lot you can do there, is there? And still, Ventspils, who've had an awful quarter so far, at least in points production. Just 2 points so far. Brucevic, they need this, and they've got it. Back to 4. You know, when they get this game right, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? 12 points for Brucevic. Zaras, Krubali, trying to give him an option. Here's Chrysakopoulos. Does he take Brucevic out? Well, he doesn't get the points, and Brucevic gets the rebound. So Ventspils come away. Brucevic might have thought about the 3. Skella all the way out to Brucevic. They're certainly aiming for him. He'll dunk it home, but it won't count because the foul was called on Chrysakopoulos for his second. So much space and time for Brucevic to make sure. They need more from the line than they've managed to do so far. 13 from 19 up until this point. Brucevic, though, 3 from 3 now. %, he remains. Had a very good all-round game, actually. 14 points, 6 rebounds. And shooting just 33% from outside, so not perfect by any means, and they need more from him as Chrysakopoulos goes to the bench. Away from Ventspils. Surely they've got to finish him here. Jakic gets the layup and draws the foul, and this game turns again. All sorts of changes being made by coach Stelmeyers, and everybody comes to the sidelines for a timeout called by PAOK.
Pass, come on guys, pass the ball ahead. Pass the ball control, come on. It's our game.
So if you don't feel the dribble here, the opposite guy comes here. So here, you are here. No, you are here. You are on the ball or opposite or rebound. Here is 3 position. Here is Maris. Go there on back door. Now come out. Corner. Leave this guy.
Well, who are you backing from this stage? 3:36 to play. 70 apiece. Both sides with players in foul trouble. Certainly the case for Ventspils, who have Skellett, Gietjes and Brucevic on 4, Golbis on 3. Gietjes, though, can't put Ventspils into the lead. 3 fouls, by the way, for at least 5 PAOK players. Goss, he's hit a couple of big 3-pointers in this final quarter, and Margaritis has finished off there, put back in the game. Back in the lead, I should say. It's exciting stuff in the Basketball Champions League. Here's Skellett, back to Ubilla. Goss was right in his face, that's lifted over the top for Gietjes. Blocked by Krubali and Margaritis, and PAOK get the ball back. First Krubali, and then it might have been Krubali again. And see what the home crowd wanted. They wanted Port ball, and they've got it. Starting to even up overall on rebounds, but more offensive rebounds coming the way of the team from Latvia. Here's Goss for 3 again. They can't afford to give him any space at all, Ventspils, as the foul is called on Margaritis. That's his 4th. Hates the call. He's going to have to deal with it. And of course, with team fouls, now 5 and above, Brucevic goes to the line. So Margaritis, the only PAOK player on 4 fouls. Koniaris, Soklas, Zaras, Katsiavelis on 3 themselves. So as you can see, Brucevic's fine game continuing, and even though Ubilla thinks he's won the ball back, he's not going to get the call. All sorts of pressure on not just players, but also those guys who have to make the decisions. Here's Goss once more. You can't see him being taken off anytime soon. Was there a travel in that? Well, it's not been seen. And Krubali finishes off. Port lead once more. So many lead changes in this final 10 minutes. Ubilla inside to Gietjes. Has to go outside. Here's Ubilla. Rebound caught. Oh, that could be costly for Gietjes, and he knows it. Margaritis draws the foul, and that is sayonara to the Lithuanian. Goss prevented by first Brucevic, then Gietjes, before Krubali added the coup de grace. And watch this. Margaritis gets the rebound, and Gietjes knows he's committed the foul and he's out of the game. Even more importantly, PAOK will go to the line. Such an important presence for Ventspils throughout this game. But he can take part no more, and how key is experience at this stage of a contest. Margaritis drawing that foul and gets the first of 2. If PAOK do end up winning this, They'll draw to within 2 points of the top three. And that's all very messy, and it's going to be Ventspils' ball. Koulibaly and his coach wondering what might have been, no doubt. Here's Skella. Now how can they get the inside presence here, Ventspils, that they're going to lack without Jukicic? Ubilla. They need something. Ubilla tries to go alone. Here's Skella from the corner. Who gets the rebound? It's Jones for PAOK. They won't rush this. Bet your life on it. As there's a turnover and a foul called on PAOK. Team turnover. Oh, how stupid is that? They couldn't get over it's an 8-second violation. Crazy in these circumstances. Brucevic gets the screen for Ubilla. Ventspils need points from here. Minute and a half to play. That's fantastic from Zakis. But he can't get the basket. And Gulbis draws the foul. Now let's look at this again. Jones. Just look at the court. Look at the corner of his screen right now, and they don't get it across the halfway line in 8 seconds. It's tight, but it looks the right call. Ventspils need points from the line to go over. It's been a problem area for them all night. 1 from 2 from Gulbis. 68%. Make that 69% now. 18 from 26 in the game. Not good enough. Margaritis. Does he draw the foul from Brucevic? I think he does. Twice in a matter of minutes, Margaritis has drawn fouls from 2 of Ventspils' most key players, and the American has to say goodnight. And once again, you have to say, was that necessary from Brucevic, even with 1 minute 14 left on the clock? Tension all over this game, isn't there, for coaches and players alone? One from 2, but it's now 3-point lead. Ventspils need something once again. Gulbis for 3, off the rim. Oh, they get a very lucky rebound to Ventspils. They'll have another go, and this time Jones makes sure. Time running out for Ventspils. A PAOK going to have the Indian sign on them once more. Goss. He's been big in these latter stages. Inside to Koulibaly. Out to the corner. Jones! Done it! And maybe done Ventspils as well. The crowd have come to life. And they know how significant that could be. Lucky Jones, not lucky at all. Koulibaly with the vision. And Jones pretty much all on his own. And look at the reaction from the home fans. Jones with 10 points, Goss with 10, Katsiavalis now with 10. What do Ventspils do from here? Let's listen in. Well, there's a degree of comfort now about PAOK with 28 seconds left on the clock. Ventspils need points quickly. Oh, but that doesn't help from Golbis. Poor pass. And they have to foul. It's Jakovic who draws the foul. Let's watch this three again from Jones. What about the coach's reaction? there's a fan's reaction first, and then a coach's reaction. Knows he's got to wind it in a bit. Both from Goss. And surely now the game is close to being won. Jakovic can't make the three. Jones gets it away before he can foul. And two more from the layup from Ventspils. All about keeping the margins tight now. You never know whether points will matter. And three there from Skelly won't hurt the Latvians. Very sweetly taken, incidentally. Ventspils reaching in, but just can't do anything to stop that. And prior to that, he's very comfortable, and I imagine enjoyable layup as well. Well, they've toughed it out, haven't they? I was saying earlier that PAOK had not been able to win at home so far in the Basketball Champions League this season. Lost by 3 to Gaziantep, 82-85 in their first home game. Lost to Tenerife as well, 74-79. And their only win on the road so far has been to the only team below them in the Group B table, Orlando, 63-58. Defeats though to Ludwigsburg, to Chalon and Neptunus. And they've got a 1-in-5 record. But they have another home game against Ludwigsburg. It'll be interesting to see how the Germans react to what's in front of them. Can PAOK add to their advantage here. Kubalik will lift it up, and there's nothing Jakovic or Ventspils can do. And it's a first home win for coach Papatheodorou's PAOK team. They win it by the 7 points after a really gutsy turnaround performance in that final quarter. And they keep this record up against the Latvians, having put them out at the conclusion of the group stage 12 months ago. They're the key stats in terms of scoring. This despite Ventspils' 17 offensive rebounds in the game. Couple more steals, but maybe 1 or 2 turnovers at wrong moments for Ventspils, proving the difference. And the home fans and the home players will go unhappy. Not so for these players, who'll make the trip back to Latvia. Gulbis, leading scorers with 17. Jakic with 8 rebounds, but he fouled out, as did Brucevic in the closing stages, and you did wonder whether the foul trouble would get them into trouble. There we are, 16 for Brucevic, 14 for Jakic, but they weren't there for key points in that closing run. Argaritis' 15 points somehow leads the scoring charts for PAOK, but they shared their points around, 10 each for Christopoulos, 10 also for Jones. This the table as it stands right now. Ventspils drop out of the top 4 after Chalon's victory at Gaziantep. PAOK, well, they just closed the gap to a point off the top 4 after their first win of the contest. 2 games still to be played tonight, of course, in Group B. Tenerife against Neptunes and Orlando against Ludwigsburg. Fascinating game, though. A real nip and tuck. And let's just enjoy one or two of the key moments. Katsiavalis drive into the basket there. Not an awful lot of attention defensively. Zakis had to play a larger supporting role inside to Ikichis. And it was noticeable that Margaritas got involved. This might have been key later on as well. Jones driving to the basket. Seeing a moment him drawing the foul off Brucevic, I suspect. Scanner. Great movement from him. Brucevic's three-point plays definitely kept them interested the longer the game went on. It just felt like defensively, PAOK had a lot more defensive options at the right time. Ikichis, though, had his moments, as too did Goss. Wonderful pass outside to Jones, drained it. There again, you should take all sorts of options. Mid-range, very handy for Goss, and Ikichis using his power at the post. Kubali, well, Fed Kritikopoulos. A real mixture from PAOK. Just simply had more scoring options, and when those scoring options for Ventspils dried up, particularly when foul trouble got in the way, they weren't quite so effective. Another example of the defensive strength of PAOK, and Brucevic once more getting involved. Margaritas. And now Goss. So, wonderful entertainment. And still the Basketball Champions League action continues with those two games, as I say, starting very shortly indeed. Tenerife against Neptunes, Orlando against Ludwigsburg. From us all, though, watching PAOK against Ventspils, and myself, Chris Edgerton, it's a very goodbye.